This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Stuff went numb that shouldn't go numb, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what is going on?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
And co-host Marney Winfield.
It was kind of an awkward thing. He's like, would you guys want to come along? Can you get away to come to the island? I'm like, yeah, we just got back from there.
It is the 22nd of October, 2023. My name's Corey Winfield.
My name's Marney Winfield.
And welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Marney Winfield, you're back. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a minute.
I know people who listen to this podcast, they are excited that you're back today. The voice of reason to my crazy doctor, crazy man brain. Yes. How have we been?
I've been good.
Still married? Everything going good?
Still married.
Still sober?
Still sober.
Wow.
Yep. No, everything is pretty amazing. My new job is kind of really taking form, so that's been an adjustment for sure. And but I love it, and I'm really putting my degree to use. That's for sure. So and I get to do what I love. I'm working with people in recovery, so. It's really amazing.
That's really good. And you have 1,514 consecutive days sober. So,
oh, wow.
Again, congrats on that. And
did you just do that in your head?
Yeah, I counted it back to, no. But yeah, you're doing great things and staying busy. Do you miss school?
Not at all. Not one little tiny bit. No. Okay. No. There was a piece of me that felt like, right after I was done with the papers and the projects and the journaling and the, all that stuff, when I didn't have it, I felt like I was missing, not that I was missing something, but that I was forgetting to do something. That I was like, like when you're like, I'm supposed to be somewhere, but I don't know where, or the kind of thing, like where you're like, I need to be reminded of what it is that where I'm supposed to be at or what I'm supposed to be doing or have done. And there wasn't anything. Like we went downstate to see your family, and every time we would go out of town, I always brought my school work with me, my briefcase with my, fold, and I kept everything in there all the time. So my laptop's in there, what I've been working on for school/work. And it was just a thing in case I had, moments in the morning before we head out someplace, or time at night before I go to bed to get things caught up on. It was just a thing I did. So we go down there and I'm unloading all our bags and things in the hotel room. I'm like, why did I bring my briefcase with me? Like, why did I pack this? And it totally was just automatic. It was an automatic thing that I just did because I always had those responsibilities sitting in the back of my head. Well, if there's time, then I'm going to get ahead of things, and I'm going to do some extra work while I'm, it's a weekend, quote unquote. And I'm like, that thing is just, I don't need it. I don't even need to get into it. I don't even need to look up anything. Like, there's nothing I can need it for. So that kind of made me chuckle.
Yeah, that's weird when you're used to doing so much and so much and so much, and then all of a sudden you start taking some of those things off, and you're like, what am I supposed to be doing now?
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it's kind of just, it's a different kind of busy now. My schedule's different, and then obviously there's other stuff, family stuff that you still keep at the top of things that you prioritize on, and and then 217 stuff that we're planning, which I'm sure you'll talk more about that.
Yeah, we can do that now.
So
I had a nightmare last night.
You did?
Yeah, and we have an event coming up on Thursday in Traverse City at the Grand Traverse Event Center, and it's a speaking engagement, and it's called Recovery Stories, Message of Hope Part 1. And me, Adam Stevens from 217 Recovery, and then Lenny and Kendra, we were all in treatment together. And we were all at this Recovery Stories training, which a few podcasts ago I told the story that I was doing there. And so we were all at this training, and I figured, well, heck, if we're having a speaker thing, like let's all 4 of us get up there and do our stories and kind of kick it off, and then let Mary and David do the like longer message of hope. So it'll be fun to be interesting. But last night I had a nightmare that like we were planning it, but yet we were like setting it up for the next 2, and the speakers I was trying to get like weren't there or weren't available, and I was trying to piece it all together. And it's really not a hard thing. We're going to serve dinner there, which I know some people are like, oh, freak out, Mo, but it's spaghetti. That's not hard. It's some would consider comfort food, and it's something that we can deliver on a budget that we have, which is zero. So we rented the space, and what else do we really need? We're going to make some programs so people, hey, here's who's talking, here's whatever. And but that's something we can do in house. And I think Coca-Cola came through with donating some drinks a little bit, and we'll see what we can get from that. And yeah, it's pretty simple. And I've been trying to convince myself, like, don't overthink it, don't stress yourself out, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to sell tickets to it. It's free for anybody who wants to come.
Yep.
The thing that I think I'm freaking out about the most is I want to record it. And I'm going to use 3 different cameras to do that. And I can't just hit record and go. We're going to have to stop it after each person. And I just want to make sure I have people manning the camera. So that's kind of the thing I'm freaking out about, because I don't want to screw it up. But again, even if I do, oh, well, like we're not, I don't know. I want it to be like a cool event, but at the same time, there's only so much I can do. As long as people show up that are going to speak, and yeah, it's not like we need 100 people to make our money back. We don't. No, it's nothing like that. So that pressure is not on. But
Right.
Are you feeling pressure about that?
I think it's more like one of those, like you can't. Where it's going to be held is going to be. We don't have access to, right? We don't have. It's not like we can go check it out and like figure out and bring stuff there ahead of time, and like I would love to be able to set up and get things organized and ready to go. And so all we know is this is what we need to do when this day. We don't know anything about like that kitchen. We don't know. I mean, we have to come in pretty much armed with everything that we're going to need for the most part. So that piece is a little bit, nerve wracking, but I love calming myself down when I'm thinking about the fact that the whole purpose of this is to hear people talk about their recovery and giving that message of hope and their success story and what has gotten them to where they are at right now. That's the purpose of it all. And if the food is it'll happen, it'll get made, it'll be fine. We're not claiming to be any sort of like super chefs or anything. It's just going to be simple, easy. But I'm sure everybody's had worse food who's going to eat it. I'm sure they've had better. Yeah. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty simple, but it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And it's about camaraderie. It's about, being around each other and, people who have like-minded people who have the same goals.
Because if you think about it, like I know that there's a treatment center coming, and put yourself in the place of those people. We've been to treatment many times. So like for us to go, like if you're in treatment and you're going to an event like that, what would you expect and what would you want to hear, and it depending on what treatment, what time I went, personally, like where my brain was at and what I was thinking. It was good to hear from people who didn't just bullshit people. And the people that we're having speak, nobody's bullshitting anybody. There's no, this is what I do now and I'm so awesome. Really it's like, hey, this is where I'm at now. And because I'm in recovery, and no, our life's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it used to be. I had a friend of mine on Facebook the other day put on there, sober for what? Why am I sober? And she was like bitching about just life was so hard for her still, and she hasn't been sober long. I'm talking weeks, and that's one of the things you go through in that moment because your brain's still wanting that drug. And then like one of her friends put on there, oh, just smoke some weed, you'll be fine. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's, again, people who smoke weed, do your thing. But if you have a problem with drugs, there's a good chance, and it was for me, where marijuana will make me want to do more. And that's just me. I'm just speaking for myself. But for someone who's struggling like she is, and I'm pretty sure it would send her right back into the same, like, okay, well, I want some more meth now. Because weed's not going to cut it for her. Because it might sound cool. Oh, yeah, smoke some weed and just chill out. Yeah, okay, well, some people can't do that. Some people smoke some weed and now they want to do some meth. Because guess what? The weed wasn't enough. And now they're under the influence of a drug.
Yeah.
Which changes how you think and how you feel. So I just was like, I didn't say anything, but I just shaking my head like, no, let's probably do the opposite of that. Talk to somebody, call your mom, like do something.
Give it some time.
Call your grandkids.
Just saying, like, we didn't become addicts overnight. You can't undo your addiction. It's learning how to cope with the thoughts and feelings and emotions around the whys of why you feel like you need to drink or drug, and then figuring out different ways to get through those moments. And realize that there are other things in life. Like there always has been. And we tapped into those so much before we were introduced to drugs and alcohol. And then we just normalized that addiction to where we felt like we needed it when we don't. That's just something else that we did that we became reliant on. And whether it's because we were trying to forget about stuff or get through stuff or, social lubricant or whatever you want to call it, it's you have yourself in you. You just need to like tap back into it and love yourself again.
I was trying to explain like the beginning part of that, the whole recovery process, to people at detox the other day. And talking at like a detox is way different than like talking at a treatment center. Because like these people, like some of them are just like force themselves to be there, just to, not like forcing themselves, but like to get out of bed because they feel so bad. But the way the brain, the serotonin and all that works and how the levels work. And I was trying to explain to them like you're going to hit the wall part, when nothing will make you happy. Like I was like, say if ice cream, like you eat ice cream and you're like, this is great. It won't be great. You'll eat ice cream and you'll be like, this sucks. Because your brain won't enjoy. It'll be almost damn near impossible to enjoy anything that you used to enjoy that would normally make you happy, because the levels are so down, and your brain's not making it, and it's hard. And they're just looking at me like, "Thanks for the bright future outlooks," And it's like, well, I'm just saying, But that was kind of talking about, doctors, and there's certain medications that help with that, like some depression medication. But talk to your doctor, work with your doctor. If you don't want to take something, they try to put me on Prozac or something like that. Something that they told me I had to take it the rest of my life. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And you can voice your concerns for certain drugs. Ask what are the side effects for that? How long do I have to be on it? Can I take a small dose first? Like really talk to your doctor about some of those options and things, because some of that really does help. And I know like I was on Zoloft, and that kind of helps balance you out a little bit. But there's some side effects with it, and you just got to know, okay, well, how much do I need to take to not have those side effects? And see if that helps. But yeah, just talking with your doctor and working with the doctor. But I was at a point where it was like, nope, I'm not taking any medicine, and everybody's out to make money off me and blah, blah, blah. And, but that goes back to me going to California and them telling me I had to be on some kind of medication so that they could bill the insurance for it. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we need to bill the insurance for some stuff like that. And I'm not getting on stuff just so you can bill the insurance.
Right.
Like I don't know why the lady even told me that, but that whole California trip, the first time I went to treatment, that really put that in my head that people were just out to make money. Even when I was on Medicaid, nobody's making money off me, man. But I was still like, they're out for my money. Okay, first of all, it's not my money. And no. And again, some treatment centers are like that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not saying that they're all hunky-dory, but some are like that. Some only care about money, and it really shows. But if you can find a really good one and go to a good place, they're out there, So not everybody's out to take your money or to get you Medicaid. And sometimes they put you in programs, and you might think, well, they're only doing this because they want to charge. Well, that, and because it helps you, and there are times where the treatment centers or counseling centers, whatever you want to call them, there's a time where they need to make money, and let me just tell you a little fact about Michigan and how they bill Medicaid. They give you the little penny to it, which should be $1. They flip a little penny. Here you go. Here's your money. For example, you're a therapist, Marnie. Mm-hmm. Like if you were to break off and do your own private practice and work for whatever, and you took people with Priority Health, which is insurance that we have a 217 recovery, and you could charge $150 for an hour.
Sure.
Okay, that's pretty good. You went to school, you worked your ass off, you did a lot of work, and you should be paid for that. So you do the hour. Now, Medicaid would pay $38.
Right.
So which one are you going to do? So that's why it's hard for these places to keep therapists. Like, why you do it isn't because you want to be rich. Mm-hmm. You want to do it so you help people.
Sure.
And that in turn makes us rich inside. Mm-hmm. That feeds our soul, and that's beautiful. And if that keeps us sober and you get paid for it, what the hell? Why not? Plus you love the people in the company you work for, so it's all good. But it's hard for other people who maybe don't have an addiction, don't have a problem, or aren't in recovery, and they're all about that Skrilla, so
Sure.
They want to go out there and make that mad cheddar, that paper, get them coins.
I think that there needs to be some sort, because what you're talking about is completely 100% true, which is why there are so few mental health places, agencies, private practices, what have you, that what it's called paneled. It means you're able to accept certain insurances. And the truth of the matter is that especially private practice, is that you're not reimbursed. You're only reimbursed for what the insurance company says that they'll reimburse you for, right? For that amount. So you can say, I charge $150 self-pay, out of pocket per session, right? Which is pretty standard, at least for this area. Well, if a person says, I'll pay out of pocket, that's what I'll pay, great. But if they say I have insurance, and whether it's Blue Cross Blue Shield or Priority, each insurance company, it only will pay X amount of money out for that particular thing for that client to be met with. And so that's why certain places decide if they're going to take it or not, right? I think what they need to do is they need to somehow, the government or whatever needs to step up and say, if you panel for Medicaid, if your agency panels for Medicaid, like accepts Medicaid, we will compensate. I'm not saying all of it, right? Because $38 is different than $150. And I'm not saying all insurances will reimburse for $150. Usually They don't. Usually it's like $120 or something like that. $135 at the most, maybe. But like, that means that, if they was somehow compensated the fact, like, we'll give you this much percentage if you panel these people, because they need it, because there's no one that serves that around here. Very few agencies. There's waiting lists out the freaking door for people to see mental health professionals that have Medicaid. So.
Yeah, and then I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but it opens the door for people who are like still in college and still earning their degree will go and they'll intern or sometimes get paid, I guess, as they get certified or whatever. And like they have to use those people. And again, not saying that that's bad, but these people haven't graduated all the time. It was like that at a few places I was at.
They do that with dental hygienists. They do that with doctors, people that don't have their actual MD, whatever, but they can see patients and they just get all their big signatures or whoever the physician is that they're working underneath. They do the doctor work, but they are overseen by. So it happens in all professions. So when I'm governor and Ron Robinson's running with me, Winfield Robinson, co-governor of Michigan, we're going to change some things. That's going to be one of them. We're going to get people that are in there we're actually going to pay more out of Medicaid because you know what? The money's out there. Let me tell you, everybody, the money's out there. And we're going to put it to use.
Just saying. Because it is, there's so much money. And it was said the other day by quite a few people to me about how the federal government is spending money to help Ukraine, to help everybody else, and help Israel. And does Israel need money? Do they need? I don't know. But what's happening over there is just horrific. I was watching a thing about the terrorists and how they came into the music festival, and it was horrible. And I just couldn't imagine, it was just horrible. And, the innocent on the other side had nothing to do with it. They just want to go to work. They're probably not even about this war stuff. They're like, no, just want to try to go to work and see my family, want to come home. But they're feeling the brunt of it too. And, I feel bad for all the innocent people involved. But does it mean we need to give them $1 billion or however much it was?
$102 billion.
It's like for what? And yeah, if we give people college educations, well, because I had to pay for mine. Okay, shut up. Think about future generations. Think about your kids' kids. And if you want to just break it down to, like, I can use Benton Harbor for an example. Benton Harbor, Michigan. It is 99% African American. And the way that the society in Benton Harbor, the culture of Benton Harbor, it's different than here in Traverse City. Way different, and it's because of a lot of different things. But if you bring it back to Reagan, when Reagan was like, war on drugs, let's people who smoke crack, we'll go ahead and give them, 20 years. If you get caught with cocaine, give them probation. It's the same effing drug. But who was using crack and who was using cocaine? Okay, well, black people. So if you say, okay, so someone in Benton Harbor, whose guy maybe wasn't even selling crack, but he was selling it so he could smoke his for free. There's a lot of people that do that. And so then he gets arrested and gets sent to prison for 20 years. Well, who picks up selling to those people? Those people are still coming over. Oh, okay, well, someone in the family. And then that guy gets busted. Then someone in the family. So it just becomes this whole thing of people not even getting a chance at an education. And then when the white flight happened in Benton Harbor, all the businesses went with, the grocery stores, the drugstores, pretty much all those went, and all the jobs, so what are people supposed to do? It's like a whole generational thing that Reagan screwed up by doing his war on drugs. And it's like, okay, now we have a chance to give people college. they see a light at the end of the tunnel. There's hope there. And no, we can't do that because I had to pay for my college and shut up. It's new. It's just move forward with it. Think about generations down the line that can be helped by this. And we're sending billions of dollars away, and we got homeless people everywhere. Build a house, put them in an apartment complex. Yeah, but they're getting that for free. Okay, what are we sending this money off for? Why can't we use that to help our own people?
Yeah.
And when we do, we get met with resistance because people don't want to help people. It's so stupid. I just don't understand it, man.
Yeah. I was one of those people who said that.
You said what?
That I'm like, why? I mean, it's not that I don't get helping humanity, right? Wherever they are, like helping people that need it, right? Regardless of just because they're not American. But there's things that Americans need that we don't have. I mean, people are barely being able to live, and have good jobs. And are only barely making it by. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to swallow that. It's like,
and the federal government makes it at least obvious. Hey, we're doing this. Where the state, they'll do sneaky stuff. Like with the money they get from like lottery and stuff like that, and we'll just put that, and then they do it, and it sounds so good. We're gonna put that to cover the unemployment insurance, or what is it? The workman's comp, or I think it's unemployment insurance for emergency workers. You think, oh, that's great. Well, emergency workers don't pay that. It's the company, and guess who owns them? The state. It's like, wait, so you're backdooring us, and you're only putting $2 million into this, and you're only giving away, $500 million of, probably $6-7 billion that you're getting. And wait, what? Where's the rest of it going, man? I really would like to sit the treasurer down and be like, so how did you learn to move money and numbers around like you do? Like, did you go to the school of scam artists or something? Like, I really want to know. So that's why I say, like, there's money to do this, to pay therapists well who are on Medicaid. Like, pay them higher than they would if they went on their own. Let's keep the good ones in house. Let's help the people who really need it.
Yeah.
Maybe that would clear up a lot of trouble out there that's going on right now.
And you think about it, is the population that's on Medicaid, right, is the low income population who need better mental health situations to better themselves, right? To work with somebody, to be able to find self-love and self-confidence and be able to be better performers at work and in school and in relationships and, get out of their depression or whatever to be able to function in this freaking world. So it's like, not saying that people that are middle class and upper class don't have those problems and don't need therapy. Abso-freaking-lutely. But it's like, that's a population that's not getting the mental health that they need, the support and the attention that they need.
And it starts young too. There's a woman I know who, she has 3 kids, and the oldest one just had an incident where I guess the dad, whatever, something bad happened, and it wasn't because the dad's a bad person, but just wrong place, wrong time, but probably something that could change his life. So it's not like the worst thing in the world. Could have been though. Well, now the child is feeling some kind of way, and it's like somebody needs to talk to him, like that. And then not just the mom, because the mom is not a therapist, she doesn't know, but somebody that the kid can trust and can talk to, before he goes back to school or before anything else triggers him and this becomes a major life trauma, which it probably is going to be.
Yeah.
It's like, if we can catch that early. But I know the mom, she has an all right job, but she doesn't have enough, to pay the $50 co-payment or whatever it is for him to see a therapist. And that's where it gets tricky. And you can't rely on the school therapist. Right. There's how many, 300 kids in the school or something, like it's crazy. So how does that kid get seen, and it would be a lot easier if it was more accessible, I guess. But Ron and I will go over that. Ron Robinson, Corey Winfield, governor of Michigan in whatever year next year. Oh, it's going to be a great race. I can't wait. I need 60,000 signatures.
Excuse me.
Oh, that took you back. Yeah.
No, no, it was not on purpose. I promise.
I got a lot of bot friends on Facebook, so I'll see if they'll sign for me. But no, I mean, it's just things need to change, and I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I don't like either one of them. So I mean, it's just the common sense party is one I would like to start. But I don't know, just some common sense and just do what's right and stop with the whatever they're doing with the money and saying they don't have it. That just really irritates me. Really does. Like our grant thing I was talking about, and someone asked me the other day, did you guys get it? No, we didn't. No, fill out the papers, waited, did all that, and then they're like, oh, well, you weren't established before January 1st of 2019. It's like, no, we were established in April of that year, so we couldn't get any. So I'm like, okay, so any nonprofit that was established after that, small nonprofit, which was hard because of COVID, we don't get any. We get $0 of the COVID relief stuff that they put out.
Yeah,
0. And it's just like, what the hell, man?
It's all right. Just keep moving forward.
I know. It's comical, but it's not.
I know.
It's very frustrating.
I know you were really upset about that.
Yeah. So I reached out to Betsy Coffia, and she didn't really write me back anything. And then I wrote her about the gambling thing, about, hey, they need to change their stuff. And then she just sent me back, oh, here's a recovery community organization grant. I'm like, what? It's not even what I'm talking about. And I wrote her the little laugh out loud. I was like, that's cute, but it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the gambling. Like I broke it down. I know you're like, Corey, just move on.
I know. Yes, that's what I'm
Okay, this is a recovery podcast.
It is. It's a recovery podcast.
But
I think that just speaks to how passionate you are about wanting to be able to find ways to help other people. I get that. And so when there's barriers that are out of your control and feel frustration because it's not outlined well by the people that are offering it, it makes you even more upset.
Yeah, because seriously, because not a lot of people just read, like just go in and read, like what's really going on. Because when you do, it just pisses you off. And you're like, wait, they've been doing this the whole time? Like, right. So they count on people not to read things.
So what you do is moving forward is
read things.
You can read things and use this as a learning experience, right? Mm-hmm. That you do sometimes need to read the small print. and do some research on ones that we do fit the criteria for.
Then you get 60,000 signatures and you run for governor. Governor of Michigan, Winfield Robinson. 2024. It's the last time I'm doing that. I promise.
Okay.
But yeah, no, but it's part of that though that actually does keep me sober. Is helping other people and seeing like little things in the system, and it's like, wait, no. Nope, not getting away with that. Like Mid-State. Okay, do you want to just get off this subject? Okay.
Yep. And I know if you want any more information and want to chat with Corey about any of those things that he was talking about, you can definitely email him, and he could do a Discord with you.
You can sign, you can be one of the signatures.
Or something. Yeah. But for the rest of you, we'll save you that.
Yeah, Corey, Corey at 217recovery.com.
Right.
I look forward to your emails.
So we're going to do football and probably pizza today. We kind of found a new pizza place that we like. It's delicious in town. I think it's different than the normal Domino's, which was our go-to for forever.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And hopefully if you're, watching football today, Lions, people all about the Lions now. And shout out to the Lions. Thanks for giving us tickets last year. That was sweet. Mm-hmm. Appreciate that. So they support people in recovery. So we support them, and that's why they're doing good. It's karma.
Yeah, it totally is.
See how that works?
Yeah.
But a little hard to get tickets now.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, but we do appreciate last year and them hooking us up. That was really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. But we have lovely family in town this weekend, too, so we get to spend some quality time with them. And... yeah, everything's going good. Just enjoying the Sunday.
Yeah, so enjoy your Sunday. If you don't want to get worked up, don't read anything. Mistake, something like that. Don't be looking for stuff. But no, have a good day. And Marnie, thank you for being on the podcast today. You were missed.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. We hope you come back for our next episode.